Alright everyone, let's get into this. We're just gonna make a quick video right now from source. Source is like the physical circuit board. Alright, so you see, actually I have one right there. It's like, sort of like the circuit board where all the electricity comes from, right? So you have like the source is the bottom line. It's the first thing. It's the source of all life. It's like the circuit board, the physical stuff, the physical things that produces the energy. All right, and the energy, the electricity, is like the energy. Okay, so out from the source comes the second layer, which is the energy. Okay, so it's like the energy coming out of the electrical things. It's the electricity coming out of the physical electrical conductors. It's the spirit, also known as energy. Next thing that happens is it forms a soul. We're talking about the human composition here. It forms the soul. Then afterwards comes the mind, and then comes the body. This right here is the order. So physical conductor, electricity, soul, mind, body. Now, before we get further, I want to explain to you what is all of these. The soul is well, let's just backtrack it, right? Body. If you lose your body, all you have is your mind. If you lose your mind, all you have is your soul. If you lose your soul, all you have is your spirit. But really, all you have is soul and spirit become the same thing, right? Because the spirit, the energy, is what creates the soul, the mind, and the body. Everything in our world is spirit slash energy, aside from the source, which creates the spirit slash energy. So if you lose your body, bam, you have nothing physical left. If you lose your mind, you don't have any way to perceive the physical world. And you don't have any emotions, and you don't have any intellect and things like this. Then if you lose your soul, which is what happens when your body dies and the mind dies, the soul gets lost. It joins spirit. Well, it's already spirit, so I guess in a way, it's confusing why do you need spirit and soul, but it is. It's spirit creates soul, mind, and body. Because the soul is also our previous karma and stuff, as you'll see right now. So the soul goes back to spirit, and spirit, which is being pushed out by source, comes back into source. So this circuit board receives back the spirit, that energy that it put out, until this stuff expires basically, and then the spirit comes back into source. Now notice that we had a soul there. What happens is the whole time that the source is the source for all the spirits, the souls, for all of spirit and energy. So that includes other people, that includes rocks, that includes plants, that includes inanimate stuff, inanimate objects, whatever that, I know I just said rocks, but like, you get the idea. So everything is within source, or created by source, and all of that is stuff is spirit and energy. Now everything goes back to source, but notice that when it comes back, there were some changes that shifted and happened. A body did an action, it gets stored in the soul, and clearly the source that originally came out, the energy that originally came out of source, is not the same when it comes back. Everything is interacting in our world. All these energies, right? Stuff is changing. You see this. And it all comes back and it rearranges, and stuff basically interacts back inside of the circuit board, which is the source, as we call it. And then eventually, a source will create more, or it'll take those energies and put out more. It'll create new stuff. It'll create old stuff. or new things and new objects and stuff like this. So I don't know. I didn't really have like much of a message, but I'm just saying that I know now that there's a body, a mind, a soul, spirit, and source. And again, when all that stuff, when the body goes into the grave and the mind with it, and the soul returns to spirit, or it is spirit, and the soul is alone, it then joins the spirit and goes into the source, and then source can kind of put it back out into the world again when it's time. Now, what happens when, I think some people call this moksha in Hinduism, or nirvana in Buddhism, or heaven in the Abrahamic religions. So the soul that goes back to the source, the spirit that goes back to the source, it seems as though something could be happening there. Okay? It's just different from just the body. It's different from the bodily, the mental, or the soul experience. Something completely different happens there. And this is called the heaven or purgatory, or again moksha, or nirvana, when the soul and source have merged. And then from there, I don't know what happens next. I mean, obviously the soul will go back into the world and take on a new body and stuff. But is it possible that over there the soul is gets to think and choose and decide where it wants to go next? That's possible also.